Right on time. Kind of on time. Corey, what's up? Came in hot thinking I got here late just to see that the show starts at 11. Then I refreshed and it starts at 10. WTF is happening? It was the time zone. StreamYard kind of switches the time zones as you move and then switches back and untravel. It's always a little confusing. We can review January 17th. Oh, wait, no, I screwed that up. Take two. We can review Friday, January 17th, 2025. I just got back from Israel. I actually saved the Middle East and called for a ceasefire by Hamas, and we are successful. That is all I have to say. Good morning, Heidi. Did you get it? It was a Dave impression because I have the headset. I don't have any of my stuff. Feels weird. You sound a bit like having a cold. Are you okay? Dude, I always kind of sound like this. Sometimes my nose just gets stuffed up and it feels weird without my microphone or any of my shit right now. So, okay, so you want to hear a funny story? When I was at the event on whatever this last weekend at Greg's on Friday, some guy came up to me and he was like, he was an older gentleman, if you will, and he was like, he's all Dave, and I kind of turned and then he like reached his hand out and I was like, hey, and he's like, hey, good to see you, and I was like, it's Matt, and he's like, he's all, oh, I thought you were Dave Castro. I watch you all the time. I was like, nope, and he's like, oh, you look just like him. And I was thinking to myself, I don't know if I do. Bomber Henderson, what is Colton coming on? Dude, he's gonna be on at noon Pacific Standard Time. Is the current plan. We're gonna get a bunch of guys on here with us, the crew, and watch him do the event 3. I think it's like the EMOM workout, which for Colton, I don't actually know if I don't know how long that workout could take him. The first portion of it will be kind of slow, and then halfway through, it's gonna really stack up. But if anybody could go forever on that EMOM, that event, it's definitely Colton. Will built us out a dope little like graphic, so we'll have like the workout up on the side and some other stuff, and hopefully it'll be fun. But yeah, noon Pacific Standard Time is the current time. I reset it on StreamYard, so it should reflect that on YouTube right now. And it might change. It's a little bit of a moving target, but we'll see. Brandon, what's up, dude? Morning, Summer. Hi. We already addressed that. Magnus, no cold, just always stuffy. Standy, he's like 45. He doesn't know better. Plus, he's a guy who wears black shoes with white socks. Is that a thing? Are you not supposed to do that? I don't know. Tasting a little. Barkley, what's up? The first sentence I heard was, I just got back from Israel. And I thought, checks out, you look pretty tired. Yeah. I've been given peace in the Middle East, you know? You guys, I saw Barkley's name and I realized that we need to talk a little bit about the behind the scenes that's going to be coming out soon. I'm so like pumped for you guys to see it. It's nuts. Barkley, you got I think you're in like the first 2 episodes, dude. Those are the first ones that we have screening right now, and I don't think that anybody, and even if they do, I don't think that they'd publish it. I don't think anybody has as of a intimate look inside the events that occurred at the CrossFit Games during the first event. We have a lot of like footage from that whole thing like unfolding, and Rio's put together the first 2 episodes for us to screen. I think he says he has like 4 done right now, or he might even have more of them done, but just like rolling them out for us to screen and putting in the last little bit of details. But the first and second episodes are nuts, especially because I had to, like, I didn't watch any of the footage back that like I had, like we just dumped the cards and then that was it. So when I watched it to screen it, I was watching it back for the first time since then. Crazy. 9 rounds, Bernie. You think so? Kenneth, what's up, dude? Good to see you. Christine, hi. How are you? Christine, did you get your Savage 1 Street parkings yet? Do you? Good morning, everybody. Just did the 5 a.m. class. Cool. I usually teach it on Fridays, but not this week. Heidi, I wear black shoes and white socks. I don't even know what that is. Jeremy knows what I'm talking about. Souza is Dave if Dave was much fitter. Thank you. Thank you. Did you roofie any old birds the other day at the Fastest party? So for a select few of you, I bartended my grandfather's 85th birthday on Wednesday, 2 days ago. And I randomly I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna stream this. So I threw my phone up in the corner. The connection was shitty, so it was super choppy, but the audio was pretty clear. And I streamed for about 30 minutes while I bartended at my grandfather's wedding. It was pretty funny. Jake Chapman was there. There was a lack of representation from certain communities at that retirement home. Just must be an Arizona thing. Do you guys remember to take? Yes, we did. Thank you, Ken. I got the CrossFit shirts that you gave us. Really appreciate it. That was great. When is the release? I may finally become a member for this. Great question. Vindicate. Early releases for members? Yes, of course. So we'll get it to you guys first. I don't know if we're going to make an announcement for the members thing or like when we're going to drop those first two, but you guys will obviously have first access to it. Then you'll start to see a bunch of promotion and stuff roll out through Instagram. But by then, hopefully you guys have already been able to watch the first couple of episodes. And as always, you guys will have access to all of them way before everybody else. Han Solo, Souza, Trump inauguration watch party. Funny you mentioned that. Sivan was talking about wanting to do something like that on Monday. I also think we have right now we have Ty Jenkins scheduled, but I think we're gonna move him and bring in Dale Saran for the inauguration. What do you guys think about that? Are you all freaked out? I was seeing some stuff like with people thinking that the grid's gonna go down. Somebody's like prepping and stuff, like it's gonna get all crazy. I'd be more worried about it if I was closer there, all the way here in Livermore, California. I don't know about that. Jeopardy. Oh yeah, Jeopardy. That was fun, huh? Good show from back in the day. They don't ship till July? What? Damn it. My dad wore white shoes with black socks and a white belt on our 70s vacation. Dad's a savage. Don't listen to Standy. That was cool in the 70s. She doesn't know shit about the 70s. Oh yeah, Supreme Court leaves TikTok ban in place. That's Sunday, right? Sunday. Supposedly TikTok is going to be done on Sunday. Do you guys think they'll actually ban it? What does that look like? You just go to log in and it's like no. Or they're just going to do some weird shit where they'll like say it's banned, but then they'll say it's in negotiations with being purchased by an American company. And then it'll still be allowed to be on, but nothing really will change. Barry McHawkiner, I got him, Susan. Good. Yeah, you should. I do have some stuff to go over. I was just BSing with you guys at the start here. We were just gonna scroll through the comments because I literally feel like Dave in these headphones and with this camera, not like my normal setup. So we're gonna go through and answer his week in review questions before anybody else does, like him. Who else would answer his questions? That was stupid. Hey, when I say stupid shit, can't take it back. I can't be a member anymore since I'm on the Total Money Makeover season. Good. That's a good thing. If you're too broke to afford whatever it is, the $19.99 to watch the behind the scenes, do not buy it. Put that shit towards your debt. Seriously. But then I see all you little people subscribe to all the other little podcasts, so don't lie. I'll pass on that. I mean, what's Doug up to? Killing mountain lions and shit. You already know. You already know. They'll redirect to MySpace. Tom's making a comeback. Tom's making a comeback. Neither do you, Susan. You don't know that. You don't know. I know a lot about the 70s. Standy, don't act like I know about the 70s. I would never subscribe to any other podcast. Don't lie. There'd be some Hunter McIntyre High Rocks one, Heidi, and it'd be like $40 and you would subscribe. Don't lie. I know how this is. Tom never censored us. Tom loved us. Yeah, that's true. At the same time, We had no idea what the effects would be of that, of the internet, the information networks. Okay, so let's go into Dave's comment section here. You guys have probably been seeing that he's in Israel. And I I'm curious, do you guys think he's getting like any hate for that? Do you think you see him like visiting the affiliates out in Israel and like posting, like whatever with them and hanging out at the L1s? And you know that there's probably a handful of like people, and I hope there's no affiliate owners, but they make it all political, and they'll give their little like free Palestine thing or whatever. And I don't know, it's just crazy to me, especially anything to jump on Dave, right? Most of these were just a bunch of people kissing his ass, which I guess is good because he was taking a lot of hate for a long time. No idea authored a book. Okay, let's get into it. Some of these. Okay, just move 365 challenge. Dave, I've never been anywhere near going to competitions along the game's pipeline, but I do think a lot of people are frustrated by the constant changes to the game season and how to qualify. Would HQ come out and say that this current way to qualify is going to be in place 100% the same for multiple years? I think people would love some consistency, but CrossFit is varied, not random. So maybe this is part of it. LOL. Glad to have you. Very nice. You guys see that? That was a solid political move. Like he asked the question, kind of said he was frustrated, but then ended it with like an out. Like a nice oh well it's CrossFit's varied, not random, so maybe this is part of it. Here's the thing, no, there's never going to be an 100% straight season. You want there to be, but that doesn't matter what you want. I think there's so many moving parts to it depending on locations, venues, and most importantly, money. That's like if you want to have consistency, you have to have consistency in your revenue, like whether it's sponsors or whether it's the open. It's hard to be able to tell how much money they're going to be able to bring in to spend on the games. So I think a lot of their consistency has to do with that. The fact that they don't really know how much they're going to be able to have in terms of budget from year over year. Is he negotiating Middle East peace? Yes, Jeffrey. Didn't you see? Dave has solved it. He has solved there's peace in the Middle East. Why do people who aren't going to the games even care that it changes? Brianna, more importantly, why do people get offended for other groups of people that they don't even know? Like, let alone the game season, right? Like, ask yourself, why do people get so frustrated and offended for groups of people that they don't even know is the real question. So the fact that people are pissed off about changes that don't affect them in the game season, that's like a no-brainer, of course. That's what we do. Mike, what's up, dude? I still rock that sweatshirt. The Rogue sweatshirt. Thanks for that. It was nice to have that replaced when I left it in Rome. Bryson Del Monte. What's up, dude? Who gives a fuck? The season should change every year, constantly varied. If you don't want to sign up, then don't. Yeah, it's kind of like it's my party. I'll cry if I want to, right? Like it's their thing. You guys are signing up for the opportunity to be the fittest on earth. And this is the way that it is. Whatever. Why do people get offended at all? I usually get offended for a couple of reasons. Number one, if I'm like tired or hangry, right? Or I usually get defensive if somebody actually points out something I feel really insecure about. Like you can make fun of like a bunch of stuff and usually I'd roll with it. But then if you touch on like a nerve where I'm like, oh, I'm actually pretty insecure about that, then usually I get offended and defensive. I mean, that's just the truth. And then usually I realize, oh shit, there's kind of some truth to what they said. And maybe I should not be defensive and just kind of like deal with it and work on it. But it's easier just to not accept accountability. You know what I mean? All right, let's go through one more of these here. Hi, Dave. Will there be a Road to the Game type series this year leading up to the games? Hiller is doing a great job highlighting different athletes. Would be great to see HQ doing something similar. Kevin, thank you for your question. No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't be cool to see HQ do something the same because they would spend a lot of money for something way worse. Sorry, there's just too many chain of command over there. You have like one person who outsources it to another person who then contracts it to another person who then they could contract it to the person actually doing the work. You think I'm joking? I am 100% not. That is how that shit works. Oh, and who do they contract, by the way? Who do they reach out to? The people they fired. Wish it was a joke, but it's not. I mean, they're doing a great job over there, and Hiller just is able to move faster because it's just him. He makes it. I don't even know his process for that. That would be interesting to find out. Knowing Hiller, it's probably he literally just thinks, okay, this person would be cool to follow, and like shoots him a message, and is like, hey, I'm down to come out and hang for a couple of days if you are, and either they are or they aren't. Maybe he'll show up in the comments and tell us that I was correct or that I was wrong. Because snowflakes need to feel something. That's true. That's true. Like saying that CrossFit HQ doesn't owe you anything. Yeah, that's true too. That wasn't necessarily like an insecurity. It was just like a frustration point because like you're correct, but then at the same time, like you want it to be more. I don't know. But yeah, Heidi, that's exactly what I'm talking about. So thanks you for bringing that up again. That was good. You got it. Check. You understood. Yeah, athletes whining in the comments on the CrossFit Games IG post. So annoying. Such divas. Who do they think they are? That's the same way I feel. Like this whole entire like 21st place doesn't get paid or doesn't like who the 21st place? Like what do you want, a participation trophy? Like that's what they gave us in Little League. When I played soccer on the Bandits when I was 7, we all got a trophy. Those are like the same kids that go to their siblings' like birthday party, and then like the parents have like a second present stashed over there for them, even though it's not their birthday. So that way, inevitably, when they throw their little bitch fit, because they can't allow anything else, they can't allow somebody else to have the spotlight. When they cry, the mom kind of like brings over the little Lego set to pacify the kid, and then they grow up to be CrossFit Games athletes. I have to start talking in such absolute about the athletes because some of them I absolutely really enjoy a lot, like a lot. Calling football soccer is homosexual AF. I don't follow, David. I don't think either of them have a sexual preference. Hi, Grant. Glad you're commenting. This isn't necessarily my show, but we'll do it anyways. Hey, you're not Savon, but that's okay. I'll stay. That's all right. Some people stay, most people leave. It's okay. I'm not insecure about that, Heidi. Yes, I am. Absolutes are way more fun, though. Yeah, exactly. The NBA G League players make 40K and LeBron makes over 100 mil. Goes in every sport. Yeah. Listen, it's all about attention. If you're an athlete that's big enough that brings in a ton of attention, you will be paid in proportion to the attention that you bring in. If you are not, and nobody really knows who you are, and you're not really bringing any eyeballs except for your family that's coming to watch you, chances are you're not going to make very much money. But with how small the CrossFit community is, and with like the amount of brands that are in here, if you're just like a really like if you are a relationship person and you understand how to build some good relationships with all these people, you'd be surprised what you could get without having to have like such a huge name in the sport. I hope Hiller does a Colton documentary. Me too. That would be cool. That would definitely be cool. Let's see here. Let's find another one. Rob, this year at the games, are you programming a marathon row? Let's hope not. Criminy and sit there and watch them do that. No way. Will any of the wood chipper? Wow, hell of a name. Will any of the entry fee money from the registration for qualifying events be added to the games prize pool, similar to the fit? Isn't that the whole thing? Did this guy completely miss it, or did I miss it? Whatever. Oh, this is Dense Updates. Glad to have you back on the Week in Review. There is some new verbiage added to the 7.03 hand protection portion of the rulebook in regards to the grips being tacky or sticky. However, it doesn't specify the materials banned. Frog grips, frog, not fog. I could read, don't worry. Frog grips, I can't read. A very popular brand grip has announced a type of their grip, specifically their Halpin infused? Halpin has an infusion? What the hell is going on? With Kevlar, it can't be used at the games. Without specific materials listed in the rule books, athletes could argue the loophole Not anymore, Jenny, because you brought that up. Teacher, you forgot to give us homework. Any thoughts on that, especially with all the IPQE being organized and ran by those not on CrossFit staff? Thank you. Whoa, that was a lot. What if you just don't have grips at all? What if you're not allowed to have anything? Help in liquid. I know, Heidi. I got freaked out too. Heidi, are you serious? Are you really reading Money Makeover? Because if you are, that's pretty cool. I have a feeling you're not, though. I have a feeling you just said that. Colton says he has a spare room ready for Hiller. It's a dog kennel. Seth, isn't earning the title of the fittest on earth payment enough? Let's spend all the open sign up money back on the affiliates. Good morning, Susie. Yeah, I completely agree. Like, Seth, you've been around long enough, dude, to when they used to interview a lot of the games athletes back in the day. I'm gonna bring that back up in a second. When they used to interview a lot of the games athletes back in the day, people like Savon would ask all the time. He'd be like, "Hey, are you here because of the money?" And almost all of them said, "No, even if the money wasn't here, I'd still show up to compete." Like that was how it was back then. And then at some point it turned into a money-making thing, and then it turned into I need to make money because I showed up and I tried really hard for the whole year. Am I the only one pumped about the Community Cup? Yes. No, I'm just joking, Corey. No, I think the Community Cup could be really cool. I think you could make it into something for your affiliates and or for the affiliates, and it could be something done correctly that could provide a lot for your affiliate. We also have Adrian Bosman that'll be coming on next Friday, I do believe. That'll be discussing the Community Cup. So we're going to learn more about it then with him. Victory Grips has us covered. Their tactical and Apex are no-go at the games. Times 2 in leather are fine. Yeah, okay, whatever. Just brand the grips. Yeah, Trish, that's where I'm at. Like, screw it. No grips at all. You happy? Turn this car around. Now nobody gets grips. I don't know. Stupid joke. Trish, 100%. Man, I'm behind on these comments. This is tough to keep up with you guys. That's biased against vegan athletes. No animal-based grips. Jeffrey Birchfield. Nice. I did get those. Like, I do have a pair of grips that I got for Christmas. Those Victory ones that do have like the tackiness in it. And that shit is sticky. That it does help. It sticks you to the bar pretty damn good. Heidi, you were supposed to invest that $5. Yeah, see, Ken Walters knows. It was the prestige of the event. Yeah, and somehow it went to the wayside. Why do you think that is? Why do you think it mattered? So do you think it matters anymore to be the fittest on earth? Do you think that's even part of the draw? Like James winning it this year. Do you think that's what he was most pumped about? Is like, now I get to claim that I'm the fittest on earth? Or do you simply just think it's like another feather in the hat in terms of winning like the games and just getting the money and then hopes to win the Rogue or whatever this Triple Crown thing is? I don't even know. Maybe that means we need athletes with jobs. Like also back in the day. Boz live at 10 a.m. Central Time. Oh, is he on Get With the Programming? I think I saw that. That's cool. You should ever do it. Do you ever go to Waza, Souza? This will be my first time attending. Did I ever go to Waza? Hell yeah, that's where our live coverage started. Me, Will Plummer, and Heidi with a couple of iPhones. And Wodapalooza, what year was that? 2022, I think. And then we went the following year as well, but not this year. But I think we have something cool in the works for Wodapalooza. We will definitely be doing some coverage of it. Oh, excuse me, tier Wodapalooza. God damn it, Grant. Don't make me screw it up. We will have something planned this week for the weekend. We will definitely be doing some coverage, and I think we have something even cooler in the works. We will have something. I won't say anymore because it'll give it away. Because the money increased, take away the money, and then see. Yeah. That would be interesting. What if they're like, hey, this year there's no prize money, but you could still have to claim the fittest on earth? Do you think everybody would just drop off? They'd all go to the Will Morad Fitness Project? I don't know. Baby step number 2, paying off debt. All right. So you are reading it. Good for you. Good for you. The Community Cup will be fun. I did a part of Throwdown HQ, did a few years ago, and won 9 tickets to the games. 2 for me, my partner. My box got 5. It was a great time that year. That's really cool. Hey, that's another thing that you could incentivize affiliates with, is that like if you were to give away like tickets or packages to actually just like push them into the games, that would be cool too. This Heidi was at Waza shooting with you. If you want to call it that, like we literally just had iPhones. We did a call for volunteers, like her and Will Plummer like sat up in the stands and like held their phones, and we live streamed what we could. That was the same year that there was a ton of like rain and stuff that came through. Pretty typical at Wodapalooza, but they shut down the event, kicked everybody out of it, and then I stuck back into it. Didn't you get kicked the fuck out of something at Waza Souza, or did I make that up? No, that was true. And then I kept trying to go to like the athlete debriefing and like the athlete warm-up area. We weren't really supposed to live stream there, but you know, we got to push the envelope. Otherwise, what's the point of going? And definitely got kicked out of it. Definitely got kicked out. So it was fun though. If you guys aren't going to be at Waza, then why am I going? I don't know. Probably to watch all the cool people and see the event. I know there'll still be other people that'll be going to there. I just don't know if anybody from our crew is going this year. But I'm sure Be Friendly Fitness will be there. So you guys got that. Judy, I always invested 10% since day one, eligible for the 401k, debt or not. And it has worked. That is true. That is true. Needed Susan's opinion on me never having a credit card. It's not that I'm against people having credit cards. That's not the issue here. Let me go up and maybe find this one. When my ex went to the Olympics, he spent so much money to go and competed and didn't make anything and didn't medal. Did it for the title, saying he was Olympian, pinnacle of what he was working for. I also know somebody that did that too. And yeah, it just cost them a shitload of money. They didn't medal because the U.S. sucks at weightlifting compared to the rest of the world. And yeah, that was it. It was just to be an Olympian, the prestige of having gone to the Olympics to say that you were an Olympian. And it did. It cost them a ton of money. They had to like raise a bunch of money with these dinners and a bunch of shit just to be able to go to Japan. And yeah, that was it. And by the way, there's way more money to pay those athletes if they just didn't give it all to the media companies that were there representing it. Maybe did a little split or something like that. Grant, catch up on the history of this podcast, please. I was thinking about doing a show. Well, I got 2 shows lined up. One of them is becoming a athlete agent. We decided maybe we'll just be an agents and just take over the whole entire space. Rambler, Souza, opinions on 0% credit cards for 18 months. Okay, so credit card deal. Here's the thing with that. It's just a slippery slope. So when I travel or do different things, I always use a Chase credit card, because if you do it, everything is insured through Chase. And if there's any issues or you ever need a refund, you could just have Chase do it on your behalf. So I just go to Chase and say, hey, I didn't use this hotel, or I didn't do this, or I need a refund for this, and put it in, and they automatically credit back the card, and then they go after the merchant themselves for you. So there is some definite advantages for the credit card. Okay, but you should only be using it if you have at least 3 times the money to buy the thing you want to buy. Meaning, if I'm going to buy this bag for my headphones here and it costs $5, you better have at least 15 or 20 that you have earmarked to spend on it, because it's not the credit card that's the issue. It's you spending money you don't fucking have that is the issue. And then what ends up happening is there's maybe a bad month, or maybe something in your car breaks, and then you have to spend the money. And then that credit card where you bought the thing that you couldn't afford already is now sitting there, and now you end up paying minimums. And then that starts to snowball and creep up over time. The psychology behind the credit card is nuts too, because if you think about it, with cash, you have to take a physical loss. Meaning, if something costs $20, and I hand you a $20 bill, you're going to break that 20 or break the 100, hand me back a bunch of 20s in my item. So I felt the loss of the cash in that transaction. Whenever you use a credit card, there's a weird psychology there, because I use the credit card, you give me back the credit card, and you give me the thing I bought, and I don't feel the transaction. It's happening in the background. So it's much easier to overspend with a credit card. I'm sure there's some sort of statistics on like people that use credit cards end up spending way more than they originally planned to. Ken Walters, Sarah Sigmund's daughter clowned him. No, Ken. No. She ran away. There's a difference. Okay. I've been clowned by plenty of females in my life, and that was not a clowning That was an escape. She ran. Got too confident. Oh, there was a comment by Standy all the way at the top. I'm definitely not going to try to scroll up to read it, but she basically, what was like your boyfriend or something bought the black and red Fraser Metcons, but isn't a CrossFitter. There used to be a chick at the restaurant that I worked at when I was bartending, and she was showing people pictures of her and her significant others, like engagement photos. And when I looked at the engagement photo, I was like, wait a minute. And he's wearing the original Reebok weightlifting shoes, like the white, green, and purple version for their engagement photos. And they're like in like a creek or some weird shit, you know, some outdoor setting where they stand in the water and a bunch of other weird shit that people do. And I could not get over the fact that he was in those weightlifting shoes. And when I asked her, I was like, why is he in those? She was like, oh, that's literally the only clean pair of shoes he had. I was like, well, nobody was going to look at his shoes, but now I'm only looking at his shoes. Damn it, try to catch back up with these. Oh, your brother-in-law. The ones with the little symbols and shit on them, those were like crazy bad. I lost all my money in Doge. Well, that's a solid investment right there. Crypto. Buy now, pay later. What could go wrong? Yeah, exactly. How many people go in debt like that? So insane. Literally, it's nuts, right? And you know what else is crazy too is the whole like student loan debt thing is absolutely insane to me. It's like, imagine having a brand so strong that people will just give you money for no reason, meaning like a college university, right? Like the whole idea behind the college seems so certain that banks are willing just to give you way more money than you're ever going to most likely be able to pay back, and will secure it against you with nothing, no assets, no income, whatever. It doesn't matter. We'll go ahead and give you the money for education because you somehow think you're going to find a job in your classical religious studies and make enough money to pay that back. It's fucking crazy. I also saw the statistic that most people don't have more than $2,000 in their savings. Most Americans have less than $2,000 in their savings, like free and clear from their like regular checking. So like you have the money where everything goes in and out of, and then like most of them do not have $2,000 set aside, which is crazy. I couldn't live like that. I just would not want to have the stress of that. I'm assuming, Grant, you got into some sort of debt, piecing these comments together. Standy, I honestly don't know either. It was bad investing and then paying for stuff with the credit cards. It's just so easy to stay blind to it, especially when you could run up these like ridiculous, like you could have like a few $1,000s sitting on the card and you could just put like $23 down as your minimum each time, right? It's crazy. Matt Burns, I borrowed money to party at FSU. I invested into the #1 party school. Nice. I bet you got some great stories out of that though, huh? That's the other thing too. You know what's fucking nuts is like when parents justify that shit as like this social thing. Well, they got to go out and be on their own and figure it out. It's like, no, they don't. They're just playing adult. It's like you gave them a false income, so you give them money on a loan, so they act like that's a thing they could keep going with, and then on top of that, you think that that's going to be some sort of investment into their social life in the future, or they'll make some sort of connections. Like, no, they're going to do a shitload of drugs and party and have unprotected sex is what most likely you're paying for. Right, Brianna? When I was at Miami, I know so many kids that were graduating with $300K student loan debt. Holy shit. You know what else is crazy to me is like people that will take that money out, right? So let's say they took that money out and then they're going to give some fancy title. Oh, I'm in a marketing and advertisement with a minor in business administration. You fucking idiot. You could have just taken that money and started a business. You would learn more in the first year or 6 months of trying to run your own business or trying to get something off the ground or even just start selling a single product than you would ever get in front of some teacher that probably has never made payroll in their fucking life. Hi, dear Susan. What's the money book title, please? It's called The Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. And it's funny because most people shit on that book or like Dave Ramsey, and they're like, no, he's terrible. He's super anti-debt or all this other things. And it's like, dude, you have to have the foundation. Like you at least need to go there and then go there. I was reading the college things. You at least need to like read that book so you understand like just the general foundation of finance. And then from there, if you want to do whatever the hell in your tricks and your TikTok fucking, oh, I take debt out against my assets so I don't pay income tax or whatever the stupid thing is that people, you don't actually know anybody who's done that, but you talk about it like you do. So you sound smart in front of your friends that have no idea what's going on. Brianna, I got my degree in philosophy of political science. How's the job market for that? Ken Doyle. Caesar, sometimes you need to drink, take drugs, and have unprotected sex to discover who you really are. Absolutely. Just don't do it on the bank's money. Just don't do it by borrowing money because you could do that shit for cheap, Ken. You know what I'm saying? You just mooch off your friends, the trust fund friends, or the one that got the loan for the drugs. You drink a little MD 2020, a little pop off, some vodka in a plastic bottle. And then the latter just happens to work itself out. I learned about finance in college. No, you didn't, Trish. Don't lie. Don't lie. No wonder why people are in debt paying $100K in college for a philosophy degree. But it sounded so good when I told all my parents and their friends. And when I was leaving high school and people were like, what are you going to do? And I was like, well, I'm going to be a political science major and a minor in philosophy. It sounds cool, but you got to realize there's got to be an ROI to the end of that. Sounds like you've done that, Suze. Dude, I went to 3 colleges, bro. I went to 3 colleges. He's hardcore Christian. People can't get past that, but his principles are solid. You know what? It's funny. Like, he is hardcore Christian. There's no doubt about that. But I don't feel that. I mean, he relates a lot of the stuff to the scripture, but not in a weird preachy way. Like, I don't either that, or maybe I'm just around too many Christian people, so I'm just kind of like I don't notice it as much or something. But he doesn't really feel like it's like a big like push at all. So, I don't think it's that terrible. Bye, Teresa. Accounting degree isn't so bad. It's not bad at all because you could clearly see what like where you're going to go with that, right? Like an accounting degree is any job that's needed, or you can even do that on your own. Like that's fine. You just got to find something that you're able to build into a tangible job afterwards. Otherwise it's tough. Teresa, most jobs don't even care what you majored in. Yeah, that's also true. So then just pay for the cheapest thing, right? Because I agree with Brianna's logic there. Like most of them don't. They're just going to say like, hey, did you or did you not do the thing? Okay, you did the thing, check. So if that's the case, then really you could do that at a community college for really cheap. Wow. Adam Fullerton. What's up, dude? Remember, it's not about how much you make. It's about how much you keep. Very true. Very true. But you got to make a lot in order to keep some. Not a lot, but you can't make nothing. Oh, Mason, I have an accounting degree. Would sell it back in a second. Really? Interesting. I didn't know you had an accounting degree. All right, let's go back into a few of these Dave comments, and then we'll go from there. Dave, super excited about the new location for the games. Honestly, I wasn't going to go to Fort Worth again just because I've been there, done that. What? Okay, that's kind of weird. Can you give me a little insight on how it'll look? Vendor Village, major sponsor, etc. Investors, possibly you. What do you guys think about Albany? I have no idea about that venue. I'm sure Brian Spin will do a whole write up on it and tell us all the square footage and how it'll look and all this other shit. But I wonder, it looks to be from the one photo I saw that everything's like contained inside that one building. Right? Jonathan, have you been there? What's up, dude? Have you been there? Albany. It'd be cool to know if it's good or not. Jeffrey Birchfield, I will not be attending. Okay. I earn nothing and keep. I can't read the rest of that. Okay, cool. Deep End Fitness does CrossFit movements within deep water. That's a weird thing. Awesome work, Dave. Is CrossFit going to provide any leadership training or education to the members of the CAC? Oh, that's actually a good question. Are they going to provide training, leadership training, or education to the members of the CAC? I'm curious as to what is going to happen? What are those meetings going to look like? How often will they meet? What do they plan to do with that? That's all pretty cool. Obviously, as you guys know, Taylor is the president of the CAC, the head CAC, if you will, the largest CAC in the room, unofficially, of course. So I'm sure whatever he's allowed to say or what he can tell us, he will. So hopefully we'll have some cool insights into that. Ramirez J79, thanks for starting these again. It's good to see you. How was your trip to Europe? Do you have any plans to come back to the Pentagon anytime in the near future? See, told you, Dave's part of the deep state. Dang. Anyone in the chat attend regionals 2016 to 2018? Yes. Is that where it was? Same spot. Yeah, but not at that venue. Oh, okay. Well, there we go. There must be a Banana Dance Man comment he can't resist. We'll come across it. This is weird. How was your trip? It was great. Thank you for asking. My trip to Europe was awesome. I solved the crisis in the Middle East. And yes, I'll come back to the Pentagon to report because I'm part of Deep State. What is Rambler asking? Have you ever increased weight gain in body fat around the abs area, binge eating from whatever reason or injury? If so, how did you attack the fat loss or got back on track? Rambler, you should know this. It's easy. Stop drinking alcohol. Number one. Number two, stop eating foods out of a box. Okay, so there's your two minuses. Now here's your plus. Jump on a scale and look down. It'll tell you a number. That number is what you're going to eat in protein a day, in grams of protein a day. Pretty easy, right? No alcohol, no shit in a box, no boxed meat. No, Heidi. I don't even know what boxed meat is, but no, unless it's meat that's just frozen and comes to you in a box. And then eat your body weight in grams of protein per day. And then what I always tell the firefighters is there's three different things with the protein. The first one is just getting it in, even if you have to do it through bars and shakes. Sucks, but it is what it is. Then once you got it dialed, the second one, get it in with real whole food. So just get the protein in. Next one's quality of protein. Third one's timing of protein. Get quality proteins in every, 3 hours or something like that. Matthew, what's up, dude? Matthew and I are going to chat later today. Like an hour. Kiss, keep it simple. Back to basics. Yeah, that's exactly that. You want to find out? Kinda. What? I mean, I'm curious now. Shit in a van? There's some great classic. You know what we should do? Like Travis, the like shit in the van, or like Sarah Simmons that are running away. If we ever have benchmark workouts, that's what we could name them. Different things like that. Pivotal moments that'll forever burned in our memories. But yeah, Rambler, that's what you do. Hey, I'm live on the show right now.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. I was the boss man. How's the Firefighter? Oh, you guys want to see it? I don't know if it's ready to show you. Okay, hold on. One more of these questions. 3 days ago, do you have any options or preferences on who would take the new head of safety role proposed? Just picked up some all boy with Sousa's discount code. Let's go, Barry. Let's go. I killed it with that discount code. That was so random, right? What are the chances? That's interesting. Like the head of safety. I wonder if they're going to announce all that type of stuff. You would think that they would, right? I don't know. You think that they would. All right. Well, it looks like that's the end of all the questions. Okay, Dave, good news. You don't have to do questions on the week in review or comments. We already took care of that. here on the Seven Podcast. I nominate Bill Grunler for Beat in a Box. Chase, when's your guys' show? Is it in 15 minutes? You guys get do you guys have boss coming on? I quit alcohol, but my sweet tooth skyrocketed. One of the things that I tell people with that, if you're really trying to cut back on the sweets at night, chew a piece of gum because it'll give you like a little flavor in your mouth, you know what I mean? But at the same time, usually after you eat gum or like brush your teeth or something like that, the thought of eating one of those things, or if you do it right afterwards, it tastes gross. So could help you be a deterrent. And then you still get to put something in your mouth. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Omar? Where's Adam's comment? I like reading Adam's comment because his picture looks so, that's a great photo. It's like a LinkedIn photo. Butcher Box delivers meat in a box. Does that count as meat in a box? I think so. Maybe that's what OPT arguing with Savannah Bryan about CrossFit being personalized or not. Yeah. Stupid. CrossFit being personalized or not. How's the Firefighter's fitness progressing? Dude, great. I do a talk at the Livermore Pleasanton Fire Academy on Tuesday at 11 a.m. I don't know if they'll let me do this, but if they do, I was thinking about trying to throw like a little wireless mic and just setting my phone up and then live streaming the presentation that I give to the fire recruits. That might be interesting. If not, just for my own purposes of just like watching it back to see where I can improve and stuff. But this is the first year too that I actually have a little like presentation that I like click through. There's only a couple of slides. It's mostly just me talking to them about it. But the crazy thing is the data that I've collected up now is like so very like, it's just undisputable. And it's all shit that you guys know. But I have two comparisons. I have let's see, can I show you guys? Do you guys want to see it? Do you even care? Now we're getting into data sets for firefighters. There's no names or anything on it. All of this is completely anonymous. Other than the numbers, obviously on purpose. Okay, yeah, I could show you guys this. Yes, so I could judge your presentation skills. I'm actually terrified of that, Standy, because I feel like you would be pretty ruthless, but I also feel like you would probably be correct in some of this criticism you'd get back. So that's why I'm nervous about it. Matt, why do you rent your place instead of buy a place? Because it costs, and I'm not even joking, $1 million to buy a place here in Livermore. And right now, this apartment costs $2,500 a month, and it's just lumped in with the massive rent I pay all over. So it doesn't even really, I don't really feel the rent, if that makes sense here. And if I moved and actually bought a place, assuming I could actually get into one, I would be house broke, like literally between property taxes, insurances, all this other stuff. Like it would just be nothing. Like I could afford nothing. And what's crazy too is SEMA is like a lot of people like that get their jobs and then they rent. They think like the next phase in life is I have to like buy and own a home, right? And then a lot of them try to claim that their home is like an asset. Don't. It's not an asset. Sorry. If you stop working and you can no longer pay your bills, that's a massive liability. So yeah. Anyways, so that's why I just don't want to stretch the money that thin, and that's assuming that I could even get into a home, which would be a pretty big long shot in the first place. But to your point, I am looking to buy a building within the next 2 years for my gym. I would really love to be able to buy and own like a 10 to 12,000 square foot building and just make it a dope fucking CrossFit gym. Maybe everybody will send me their Rogue gift cards from the Open, and I'll be able to I'll be able to buy some stuff. Dude, $2,500 a month. Okay, you guys want to know something? No fucking shit. Between the gym and my apartment, obviously the gym being the bulk of it, I pay $15,000 a month in rent. A little less than that. It's like 14 and change. Yeah. But after PG&E bills on both places, it's about little over 15,000, little over, little under 15,000, depending if we run the AC or not. Absurd, right? Absurd. Okay, I'm going to show you guys this real quick because then we're all going to go over and watch how is that sustainable. Like he said, I forgot who said it, but you got to just make more than you spend. Yeah, fuck the AC. Exactly, Corey. Members are like, it's a little cold in here. I'm like, damn right. Get on the assault bike and just pedal harder. Warm up. Oh, dude. Seth. I bet you there's only there's probably like 2 other people that could beat me out in rent, all things considered, assuming we have the same size building. And it's definitely Seth in Hawaii and probably somebody in like London or something for that. There's the next highest place up. Okay, here we go. We're going to go to these numbers here. I'll show you guys this, and then we're going to jump over, watch the Get With The Programming guys. Okay, this is part of the presentation that I'm actually going to be giving the fire chief, because on Wednesday, I meet with Hayward's fire chief, which will be different than Livermore Pleasant's Fire Academy. Okay, so here's what you guys are looking at right now. This is the academy that I just finished up. They graduated last week. Okay, now this academy here, I just touched base with. So they don't run any strength and conditioning programs that I run. This is just them going through the academy, no extra strength and conditioning, just whatever the physical tasks that the firefighters demand on them. Okay, now if you notice, the red has different variances, right? The darker the red, the more of the change, the lighter the red, the less of the change. Okay. Now the red is obviously bad. So if you look at the skeletal muscle mass, which will be the middle column, for every single red one you see, they lost skeletal muscle mass. Okay. Now this is something that occurs a little bit in the academy, depending on the body type when you come in, because they're very physical. They're running everywhere. They're just go all day. So there's naturally going to be a little bit of weight loss. With that weight loss, sometimes does come a little bit of skeletal muscle loss, especially if you're doing no resistance training, as this group was here. Now, on the far right-hand side of the screen is going to be the body fat percentage. So the green change is good. The red change is bad, same as the skeletal muscle mass. Now, at the very top, when you see the minus, the negative 1.6, that isn't they lost 1.6% in skeletal muscle mass. That means, in body fat percentage, that means they gained. It went up from 24.8 body fat percentage to 26.4. So that individual actually became fatter. Crazy, right? Now, the yellow that you see, where that individual, if you look at there all the way across, so we're going to be looking at this column here. They dropped 13 pounds. Okay. Now with that, 1 pound of skeletal muscle mass came off. That's relatively typical for that much weight loss. Okay. That's not like there's no red flag there. It's still labeled red just because that's how this is coordinated and organized, but that's not terrible. Now, when you go to the body fat percentages, he went from 14.2 to 9% body fat with the total loss of 4.7% body fat. That is a great, great score. Here's the problem. If I take that individual out, the whole entire academy as a total got fatter. Now look at their changes. Down here are the averages. So on average, they lost almost 3 pounds of body fat. On average, they lost almost a pound of skeletal muscle mass. And on average, they lost what I consider negligible in terms of, dude, you can't bring it up and not say what? Huh? They went from 14.4 to 13.9, so 0.4, right? So that means there's basically no change. And if we take this person out of it, look, there's no change at all. That one individual skewed the whole entire thing. Now, these other two lightly highlighted ones was the same deal. So these individuals already came in relatively fit, and still lost a little bit. And if I pull these individuals out, then the whole entire academy got worse. They got less fit. Nuts, right? Okay. So why is that important? Because if I go to the Livermore Pleasanton Academy that I had, which means for the 20 weeks that they're through the academy, they come to the gym 2 days a week, Tuesdays and Thursday mornings. And we do strength training. It's basically like a really long kind of fundamentals course where we bounce back and forth between heavy days and metabolic conditioning. So like typical CrossFit, although there are some movements that I take out, movements that I consider like high risk, because you guys have to remember that I have to justify everything to the city. So if somebody comes down on their head wrong because we were doing handstand push-ups, the city's going to come to me and be like, hey, we have to now pay for this person that's injured because they did handstand push-ups. We need now you to justify why in the world were they upside down doing handstand push-ups. Okay. So, but other than that, it typically looks like a normal CrossFit class. Okay, so here was the result of that. Much better. So almost the same amount of people, close in terms of averages or body type. Okay, but if you look at the skeletal muscle mass column, a ton of people gained skeletal muscle mass. I mean, one person gained 6 pounds in skeletal muscle mass, right? And dropped 3 pounds in body fat. So you could tell that just with resistance training, just with constantly varied high intensity functional movement, 2 days a week, in addition to everything else that they were doing, made a significant change in their fitness level. Now, if we look at this here in terms of the skeletal muscle mass, there was a slight increase overall, which is great because a lot of these people lost some weight. I mean, this person lost 14 pounds, 13 pounds, 11 pounds, right? And this person lost weight, gained skeletal muscle mass, and dropped 5 percentage body points. So that's nuts, right? Because that's what we like to call the hat trick with the firefighters. It's like when every one of your markers moved in the direction it was supposed to, you got all 3 of them. And it just goes to show the difference between introducing some sort of resistance training, strength and conditioning versus not having it in the academy at all. And like, again, like I'm preaching to the choir here because you guys probably didn't need to have these numbers to know that it's effective, right? We do this all the time. But when you have the numbers there, really showcases like, damn, that's a really big difference. And so, yeah, anyhow, Ace, thanks for asking. That is how the fire program is going. Kevin, I have a whole entire slide thing that I'm building right now. I could give you. Do you speak about nutrition with them? Yes, 100% I do. That's day 1. So when we come in, I do the talk at the academy, or I physically go there. I usually follow up the chiefs and the mental health resources that are there because I like to time it to where they talk about all of that. And then I come in and talk right behind them about the physical because the relationship between the mental and the physical is so strong. It's so intertwined, right? And then right away on Thursday, when they first come to the gym, we give them kind of a little tour. We do like the do's and don'ts, like don't park over here, come in through here, do this, whatever the case may be, right? And then I scan them. So we get their initial scans right away. And then the whole rest of the time is just nutrition. We go over just some very basic stuff, the same thing that I told Rambler. And then a few of them will start to have questions. But it's crazy. I mean, you would be really surprised at how many of them just don't have any clue. They're like, oh, I heard I needed to hydrate more. So I drink 2 of these body armors now. And you flip it over, it's like 50 grams of sugar in each. And you're like, why are you drinking this? Because you think you're dehydrated or you think you're cramped? Like, this doesn't make any sense. So you'd be surprised at how many of them like just really don't know. Then some of the ones that, some that do know. So I don't mean to say that they all don't, but it's just, yeah. How many members and what is the member fee at your gym? It's 190 a month, and we have about 215 or so. But Corey, the real question that you need to ask is, what is the average revenue per member? Because we sell a lot of other existing things like personal training, nutrition accountability, nutrition challenges. We sell extra programs where you could come in and like do some extra strength training and work with the coach. So kind of like personalized training, but not as hands-on at a slightly cheaper price. And then we also have youth strength and conditioning, where we work with a lot of the members' kids. And so remember, like if you're basing your gym success off the number of members you have and that revenue, that's a failing strategy. That's a great baseline, but you have to be able to have different sources of revenue to increase the average revenue per member. So if you get your average revenue per member, like when we do the challenge, our average revenue per member is pushing close to like 315. per person that's signing up. So like that's a very strong lever in terms of increasing income without having to crank my prices up too high. We are in Livermore in the Bay Area, so it is what it is. But 190 is way too low. Yes, exactly. It is low. And Dixon, it's 200. Correct. Yes. Matt, what's your take on eating a ton of fruit to fuel athlete like Taylor, DB, because of the amount of carbs? Yeah, I tell that people all the time, eat as much fruit as you want. It's not going to be a big deal. Even if you're trying to lose weight, you will get full, you'll get sick of it far before your calories match that much. It's not, or before you exceed the calories that you have to take in. Hey, Caesar, I'd just like to know if you think the World Fitness Project is a good thing or a bad thing and why. We don't know yet. I think anything that contributes to the space could have a net positive. So I do think that this could be like a net positive, but we don't know how it'll play out or what it'll look like. So I don't know. I don't really know how to answer that. If I did, it would just say net positive because there's more opportunities and more things going on. If it takes away from the games or it creates like a further like divide, it could be negative. So we'll have to wait and see at the end of this first go. I think once we go through the first season of it, we'll really have a better idea of like how that'll shake out and what that'll look like. And then I'm just going to share this real quick. Kevin, I'll show you the slides that I'm working on for this presentation, which is like the first time I've ever built slides for this ever, but I figured it was about time, especially after I did the pitch to the state of Ohio and was just like drawing stuff up there and it looked terrible. And I was like, maybe I should put some sort of slides in. Okay, so this is pretty much it right now. And you guys could probably tell where I'm going to go with this. But I keep it simple. Fire program purpose, move exceptionally well, be an asset, retire a badass, be pain-free. And then I use the 5 buckets of death to really dig into like that discussion. And then here's some unfinished slides. We have some information about firefighter health, and then I back it into the solution. And again, none of these things are like done yet. I literally started building them on the airplane home ride yesterday, but I will have them completed and I'll share them with you guys. If you go to school.com/media launch, I'll load them up into there and yeah, you'll be able to download them for free. Cool. Here we go. Bam. Okay. Get With the Programming is now live with Bosman. They're going to be talking about the Community Cup and everything else. So you guys can go over there. Tell them I sent you because it always makes my ego feel good. I appreciate that. People are like, Susie sent me. I'm like, oh, thank you guys. Dude, I stuff myself full of fruit and it's not enough. Eat more protein, Heidi. Eat more protein. Also, too, you're so active with like jujitsu and working out and other things you do that probably aren't eating enough. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Sebon will be back tomorrow morning. We'll be doing, oh shit, it's Saturday. So we got Kill Taylor. Kill Taylor, we got Gluten Things is going to be sponsoring it. And what I really want to do with this sponsorship is pump up their subscribers. So if you guys aren't subscribed, go over there and they saw an opening and thought they could slide in. Standy. I love when you're sarcastic humor, is I get it. I eat 150 grams of protein. Okay, then eat 165. Outside the box. Let's go outside. Fair enough. Colton, yes. Colton will be here at noon. We'll be doing the qualifier workout. We'll have some friends with me this next go around. And then we'll be back tomorrow with Kill Taylor. Gluten Things will be sponsoring. And we'll see you guys then. Thanks for hanging out. Love you guys. Be good to each other. Bye-bye.